So I'm super excited. I just ordered the Formula V2 seat from RSeat. They're a French company, apparently factories in Bulgaria, and this is a Formula style seat, as its name suggests, and you lay down pretty much on your back, and the wheels up at your line of sight, the monitor obviously behind that, and it's supposed to imitate a Formula car, and it even has a little nose cone in the front and a Formula style seat, and with a matching color fiberglass back. It looks really, really cool. One of the reasons why I chose a Formula style seating position is because I'm a huge fan of Formula One, and a few years ago, actually, I was at the Formula One race in Austin, Texas, US, and I remember I participated in one of those driving competitions. There's a big lineup. Everybody gets to go in and try it if you have a ticket to go into the venue. And there were, I think, 8 or 10 Playseat cockpits where it's a Formula style. You're using Fanatic, I think CSL Elite on the PS4. Fairly standard setup. And whoever qualifies for that motion sim gets to set a fastest lap time. They get one lap, I think one hot lap. So an out lap, a hot lap, and an in lap. And what you basically get is a paddock pass, a pit lane pass, if you get the fastest time of the day. I think they were giving out 2 passes, Friday and Saturday. I was able to set the 7th fastest time, I believe. And I wish I was just, a few spots higher, but they were so much faster than me. They were like seconds faster. But I had so much fun. And the biggest takeaway for me was that I loved the Formula style seating position. It never felt more racy. I've never felt like I was in a race car until I sat like that. I sat in GT seats, rally seats, and when you're upright, you feel like you're in any regular car. It doesn't, forgive me for saying this, but it doesn't feel that different from you sitting at your desk when you're at your job, except you mount a steering wheel on it and you sort of steer. So I want something drastically different. So one of the reasons why I picked this one, the RSeat, was because it looked really sturdy, right? It has a beam on both sides, not at the center, so it won't flex as much when you put on a strong wheel. I plan to buy a direct drive wheel, and because of that, I will need all the stability I need to get, or I can get. The Playseat wheel, if you look at the center column, not only does it get in the way if you have clutch pedals, or if you and you want to shift, I just don't see it being very strong. In fact, they sort of proved my point, because they released a second higher version with beams on either side supporting the wheelbase, and that is incredibly expensive. That is so much more expensive than the RSeat. So and it doesn't even look as nice, at least in my opinion. It looks pretty interesting now that it's, you can get it branded or colored in a similar way as a Red Bull or a Mercedes seat. But I actually quite like the look of the RSeat, and you can get it in the white backing, which is the one I decided to get, with white fiberglass back of the seat, and as well as a little nose cone. It sort of looks like a Formula One car. If you're a Ferrari fan, you can go get a red one or blue one. If you're, I don't know, I guess a Toro Rosso fan. And there's a silver and a black version for, the more boring guys. So then again, I shouldn't be saying that. I got a white one. So with the white version, what I plan to get is a white set of TV stands as well, funny story actually. So I got the matching TV stand from RSeat as well, and it still costs less than the Playseat. And I ordered this in white, and this is my first glimpse of good customer service from RSeat. I ordered it in white, and they actually sent me an email saying, "Hey, are you sure about this? Because the seat back and the nose cone in fiberglass are white with the seat that you ordered, but the actual frame is still black. Do you actually want the TV stand to be white, the metal tubes?" I thought about this. If the tubing, between the actual seat and the nose cone is actually black, it doesn't make sense for me to have a white TV stand. So I thought about it, and I was like, hey, that's actually a great question. So I changed my order and ordered it in black instead. I might get a monitor at some point with a white back so that it matches the seat back. I'm really eyeing that Samsung Odyssey G9, I think. I think it's coming out soon, and it has this crazy arch that's supposed to be the natural curvature of how your eyes see. So I'm really interested in that one. Another reason why I picked this RSeat is because it has all the pre-drill holes for the Fanatic wheels, or Logitech, or Thrustmaster if you use those. And it comes with all the bells and whistles, sort of pretty packaged. There are seat sliders, sort of adjustable pedal sort of, pedal plate. Whereas some of the other ones they're all optional. There are a couple options that you can still get. For example, if you want integrated mounts for your speakers, or a shifter, shifter plate, or a keyboard mount as well, or a butt kicker mount that goes right beneath the seat. I didn't order any of those except the butt kicker one. I just wanted to try it out. I didn't want to over invest in this RSeat in case it just turns out horribly. So I might get the optional upgrades for the keyboard or for the shifter later on. RSeat generously does provide those as optional extras that you can buy after the fact, so they don't force you to have to go buy everything together. I do wish that the monitors and TV stands, they have something similar, because if you want to upgrade from, say, a one single monitor TV stand and turn it into a triple, I would love to be able to add the side mounts onto the same base. But unfortunately they don't do that, so I think that's a miss on their part. But I think from the base seat perspective, I think they do pretty well in keeping the base model quite loaded with. So the RSeat ordering experience has actually been pretty pleasant so far, as I mentioned. I ordered about 2 weeks ago. It took a couple weeks to get here. It's because I just got it yesterday. It ships from Bulgaria, and I live in San Francisco, so it took 2 weeks to get from placing the order, getting it shipped out, and arriving into West Coast United States. It's pretty decent considering the size of this thing. Came in two big boxes, over 200 pounds, over 95 kilos, I believe, for even just one of the big box. And in fact, the DHL person that delivered it, we had a conversation about this because he was quite curious what was in that box that was so heavy. So I'm starting to open this, and so I had to cut down the four corners of the box just to get it out, because I physically cannot lift like this, lift 200 pounds. Like, this is difficult. It probably weighs more than me. Not a very big guy, as you can tell, and this thing is massive. So I have to cut down the four sides of the box, and each of the four corners, as I mentioned, are reinforced by metal tabs. or whatever these things are called. And as I take each piece out, I'm starting to assemble, and I realize the instructions are not very good. I mean, they're not horrible, but sometimes the screws are not in the right place as the diagram. But other than that, I think it was pretty easy to follow. So what they've done with the packaging is that it looks pretty good. There's cardboard boxes to protect from big shocks, and as well as bubble wrap, plastic wrap, and also some foam. The plastic wrap, though, it gets really, really frustrating to take away or take off, because it's covered in tape and then more foam and then more cardboard and then more plastic wrap and tape. It's just so frustrating to cut out. That said, it does seem like the packaging is working, though, because I don't see any scratches or damages, especially to the fiberglass that's a bit more prone to scratches. So I managed to put away all the big cardboard pieces, and there you can see the base where everything mounts to. There's a steering wheel mount as well as the actual seat. So you can sort of see the shape of it now, so this is pretty exciting. Once you remove the plastic, you will start to really see the shape here. And on the top, there's this black piece where the seat mounts to. There are a couple of shipping bolts, the two on either side of the center rail you have to remove. They're sort of shipping bolts that mounts it to the nose cone for shipping. And you sort of see the same here where the feet go, and they're sort of mounted for shipping as well. You got to sort of remove these and have them face the other way. And this particular piece took about 30 minutes of cutting away all that packaging. And there you have it. You have the nose cone finally separated from the seat base. And what I then need to do is take that nose cone and put it over top of that center railing of the seat base, and then just get these screws on, and I should be done soon. So we've hit a bit of an obstacle now. As you can tell, the center rail for the nose cone section is a bit bent. I don't know how, despite the packaging, the immense packaging of foam, bubble wrap, plastic wrap, tape, and lots of cardboard everywhere, the metal was bent. It may have been bent from the factory, from what it looks like. And that center rail is bent in such a way where it does not fit over the center rail of the seat base. So I have no way of mounting it. So I've reached out to RSeat to see what they would do. They're pretty fantastic to deal with so far. It's only been an hour since I've reached out. They have already responded to me saying, hey, my manager will look into this and see if they can send you a replacement part, and asked me if there was anything else wrong. And I took a quick check. Obviously I cannot continue the build, so I don't know for certain. I did take a quick look through the instructions and sort of just run through all the different attachments I might have to do in the next few steps. They look okay, so I told her, hey, I don't think there's anything else wrong, so let me know when I should send it back. And this customer service rep is pretty fantastic. She was like, hey, actually, you don't have to ship anything back. Don't worry about it. Don't have to take it apart. So I'm hoping that that stays true when she gets back to me. Obviously, there is a good time lag between when I reach out and when something gets shipped here. So I hope that won't be too long. We'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to stay up to date on my build here of my sim rig, please hit subscribe. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up or leave me some comments on how to improve. I would love any feedback that you have, and your support is super valuable to me. So thank you so much.